gotta know he's funny.
He's outlandish, you guys. So I don't know.
It's all fun, and I have a good time, and people should really come.
Like, oh, well, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Dosage. You guys caught us in mid-conversation on Facebook, joining in because we are live on Instagram. I am your host, Shay Harris. This is our very special guest.
I'm Michael J. Curtis.
Michael J. Curtis. You want to tell them, give them a little, your titles, what you
know. Oh, Michael J. Curtis, comedian, stand-up comedian. We want to go a little bit further. We could say radio host, formerly podcaster. Mm-hmm. We can still say podcast.
You can still podcast.
You can still podcasting. Chef. Does it? I don't say chef. I say cook, but some people will say chef.
Chef. I say chef. If you do caterings, I feel like you're a chef.
Yeah, Curtis Bones by courtesy.
There we go.
And yeah, that's it.
That's all.
Right.
Tell them your tags, your handles.
Okay, you can find me everywhere. That's at Your Life by Mike. That's the at symbol, of course. That's U as an umbrella, R as in raccoon, life, the word life, of course. BY, like B as in ball, Y as in yellow, Mike, M-I-K-E. So at Your Life by Mike, you can Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you name it.
Mm-hmm. And we will say it again at the end of the show, so you guys have the opportunity to follow him because why not?
It's all fun.
It's all fun, and it's all love.
Yeah.
So welcome. This is my first show on the Dosage.
I love it. It's the inaugural show.
Yes, it's the inaugural show. It's the premiere. You know what I'm saying? It's the first week of 2022, and it's the first show. So we are here.
She said, "I like raccoons." That's the only thing that cannot do. That's the only thing of my life.
I like raccoons. I like rabies. I like rabies.
I like rabies. It's really a thing of are like rich.
Yeah. Are like Rick or something like that.
Are like ravishing.
I don't know. I like that.
Are like.
I like that ravishing.
Yeah, good words. Are.
So you guys, we are going to jump right in. We are diving right in. Our topic was basically new year, old baggage. We're going to cover a bunch of different things. We are going to talk freely, letting you guys know that we are a good time. We are a vibe. So tune in. You're going to love it. And we are about to dive right in. Okay. So back to what we were talking about before we went live. Do you remember what we were talking about?
New year, old baggage.
No, I'm talking about what we were talking before he said we were live. We forgot that bad, Sean. It's the live.
About the podcast?
Yes.
Or about there being enough?
Yeah, there's enough. Yeah.
I don't want to say enough. I just want to say that everybody doesn't need
one. Okay. I mean, I can understand that.
I'm not a fan of everybody
having a podcast.
Some people have it just for the sake of just saying that they have a podcast. I'm a podcaster, so I have a podcast. But we can really get to the point of people have it who actually have voices and who people really want to hear say.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but I mean, I don't know, because I think it could be a good. So I feel like
if nobody wants to hear your point of view, there's no point of you having a podcast.
But what if they don't know they want to hear your point of view yet?
But you can put that out there, but you will know. You'll know once you go live.
Because I didn't know whether people wanted to hear my voice or not when we were doing Boots and
Well, people come and see you and all of that. That's different. You have a following, and so when you have a following, people come to hear what you have to say. They want to know what you have going on, and you say things that are interesting. But when a person is watching your podcast and there's literally only one live listener, and the live listener is the one person that's watching, but at some point we have to, take some things into consideration and say maybe podcasting isn't your ministry.
Not your ministry, John.
Let's just keep it all the way 100. Everything ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't a rapper. We said this in Milwaukee. Everybody's not. Now Milwaukee raps.
My friend, for those of you who are on Facebook, who are not on Instagram, my friend, I'm gonna say her name too. Her name is Jasmine. Okay, and if you know me, you know my friend.
That's like I said, everybody ain't able.
Everybody ain't their mama. No.
Everybody needs to have a podcast. Some of y'all just not that interested.
Some of y'all are not. Jasmine said that people want to hear her, but they just don't want to see her. And I feel that. I can vouch.
People have to get into the thing of, let me find what works for me. Everybody ain't meant to be a pastor.
Everybody is not. Say that again.
Everybody ain't meant to be a pastor. Everybody who ordained ain't meant to be a preacher.
You could be a minister or something else. I don't know. Be a minister over music or something.
What happened to Sunday school teacher?
What happened to the benevolent ministry when they would go out to the?
What happened to
Nurse
evangelism?
house?
What happened to ushering? You don't want to usher?
Nah, I don't want to usher.
I used to usher.
I use the usher too, and that's how I know I don't
I
want
used
to
to
usher.
I did use to usher. But that's my thing. Like people have to really find what works for them. Some of y'all might be writers. You never know. Some of y'all maybe should have a YouTube blog.
He did. Jeff said you went right in.
I'm just saying.
And did.
Some of y'all just, it ain't for you. And you should just pick something different.
So it's
We've been
just
holding on to the pattern.
Yeah.
So you guys do not know.
Just because your church don't like you don't mean you should start your church. That's right. Y'all leaving. Some people
That's
that
the one.
you can't leave. You can't start a church, somebody else's church. You gonna take somebody else's membership and start you a church. Someone this your church. The guy called. God didn't call you nothing. You got somebody else's members.
Yeah,
and you need to give them back.
We had a person who at our church who told us that she was a pastor.
Hey, Janelle.
Praise him. she told us that she was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
No church,
Mm-hmm.
no members,
Mm-hmm.
no following.
Mm-hmm.
But she told us that she was a pastor.
Now, maybe she got on the phone ministry. We don't know. Maybe she got a prayer line.
No, I know she don't.
She ain't got a prayer line. See,
she started a church.
Everybody wants to.
And it didn't work.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't meant to be a pastor. Sometimes people just good preachers. Just be a good preacher.
Sometimes you're not even a good preacher.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, teaching and preaching are two separate things.
Very much
Some people can do both, and they can preach to you, and then they can give you some teaching.
Yeah.
But so I meant to teach Sunday school. You meant to read the
and
scripture during
you
devotion.
do. I know a few of y'all. Y'all gotta stop.
I know a few of you too. Y'all still got church. We gonna get off of that subject because we churchy. We will go in on that subject real quick.
New year, new what?
New year. Old baggage.
New year, old baggage. Question mark. But we're not taking that into the new year. All podcasts who don't have at least 5 viewers, we're pulling you. It's done. It is time for you to be canceled. I have said it. Me and the rest of the notable podcasters of
Know your role in the church house.
Know your role in the church house, and know your role in Shut Your Mouth Everywhere as well. Okay? And so right now, it was a league of podcasters. We got together and they had the discussion. We sick of it. Okay?
So in case you guys are wondering how this topic stemmed that we're talking about right now.
And we're sick of
it. Michael made a status earlier. You want to say what your status said?
Oh, my status said, while I am happy that Milwaukee has one of the larger Black podcasts, network and the number of people, that everybody don't need one.
Everybody don't
having a podcast not like having a purse. You can't, it's not like, oh, I got a podcast too. Oh, I work at the bank and I got a podcast. And that's cool if you work at the bank and you got a podcast and people want to know what you gotta say.
Yeah.
But if you work at the bank and you got a podcast and ain't nobody ever listening, it's time for you to pick something.
If they don't want to hear you at the bank, baby, they don't want to hear you on the air either.
Some of y'all not entertaining and y'all need to understand that. And so I'm here to tell you because
that made my hat get a little tight.
Nobody else wanted to say it, so here I am.
Okay, so question. So now we're going to get back on the topic. So New Year's, there's nothing old that you're bringing into 2022? So you made a resolution and everything?
Nothing but the job.
Nothing but the job?
Nothing but my job.
Did you make a resolution?
And did I make a New Year's resolution? I'm choosing me this year. I chose me last year too, but I'm gonna choose me.
I chose me a little last year.
Yeah, I did it. But I'm gonna choose a little bit more of me this year. I want to go on more vacations. I want to do more stuff. I want to enjoy more.
Yeah.
COVID makes you realize some stuff. So I realized I wasn't traveling as much as I should.
Yeah.
And so now I'm gonna go do that. So that should be fun.
COVID made me realize dealing with a lot of people that I didn't need to deal with. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I got to.
There's a lot of crimes that broke out during COVID.
Yeah, it's not even a crime. It's the personality thing. Like when you cannot party with people and you can't go out and kick it with people, like you realize you don't really like. I don't really like y'all. Like the people who I'm coming in 2022 with is the people I feel like need to be in 2022. Like it's a bunch of people, and it's not just like 1 or 2. I have a good 10 people. I just was like, yeah. At the beginning of COVID, I was real good on it. No.
Wow.
No.
Okay. I don't know. No, I haven't been. I think my purge of people kind of happened a while ago. So I'm kind of good.
I did a purge, and then I thought myself, make new friends. Yeah.
Oh, the make new friends thing.
Yeah.
I'm over that.
They last like 3 months.
Yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not making no difference.
My
I'm
liquor
gonna
lasts
take
longer
the
than my
ones
friends
I'm gonna
sometimes.
take the ones that I got, and we're gonna make sure that we can work on these relationships and cultivate and move forward and doing the things that we want to do, like opening business, sustaining business, growing business, doing those type of things. I ain't got time for all that other stuff. One of my Facebook friends was doing like a business planning party. Yeah, I think that's really dope. Like stuff like that. I ain't got time for all the different type of things that people like to do.
I got a little bit of time. I need a little fun in my life.
Can grow with you and they stuck.
Yeah.
And you know what? It just it's really the people being stuck, you know, in where they are. That's really cool. Some family members I don't even want to see.
And for those of you on Facebook who can't see her comment was that has a lot to do with maturity as well. Some people just can't grow with you. They stuck, and they are. They are. Like, I hate to say it of Milwaukee, but sometimes Milwaukee has a very competitive mentality. I had to figure out a way to word it properly. It's competitive. It's not like healthy.
Crab in a bucket. That's really what
I didn't want to say that.
No, we're just gonna really say it's crab in a bucket, and it really is because of the minimal resources that are here in the city. You never really find.
Is it really minimal resources?
It is minimal resources, and so among the communities that a number of people know, like when Lakia said what she said all she knew was Lash Techs and or you know Lash brand owners or Lash Techs and what was that personal care workers, and everybody got upset, but people understand that shit, maybe that was all bitch knew. Maybe she only knew.
That's what I said. I said she was what, 17?
She 20.
What I'm saying when she started rapping and stuff, she was like 17. All she knew was Lash Techs, CNAs,
and personal care workers. But also we also have to understand that, and from this is like somebody else when she started her career, you know, even going on TikTok or wherever else she was, she did that in Atlanta. She didn't start her career here.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the certain questions that are being asked of her, I believe context needs to be provided to let them know that this didn't start her music career here. So as far as certain questions that they're asking about the support of her.
Right. Jasmine said competitive with no actual competition.
With no actual competition, but the competition is provided based off popularity. Some people are messed with not based off of the quality of what they do, but based off of the popularity of who they are, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's really that's what it is. So it really doesn't leave room for people to be discovered or for people to really like you. A lot of times people come to hear who they came to hear, and that's just what it is.
I want to be a little messy. I want to be a little messy.
Go ahead.
So did you hear about the Webster X thing? And what is it? 88.9? 88.9?
No.
88.9?
No, but I did see the statement that they put out, but I didn't know what triggered it.
So I guess from my understanding, what I read, if I'm wrong, you know, drop a comment, let me know. I will, you know. I know it's a big jump from a local artist to R. Kelly. However, it's the same principle.
Just a little. See, with R. Kelly initially, it was accusations. Now, if this person is really
not really though, because
R. Kelly, it was more so accusations about, you know, what he was doing with these young women, all those different types of things.
No, I'm not talking about the public. I'm talking about the people that circle who knew.
That he was beating on his wife?
That he was beating a girlfriend, but beating on her.
I
feel like just like R. Kelly had his people who was on the tour bus who knew he was sleeping with Aaliyah, and nobody ever said anything.
Well, what do you do?
You tell somebody.
If you getting your ass whooped and stand, what am I gonna say?
Aaliyah was what, 15?
That's a whole total different situation.
But what I'm saying is,
a grown person
at what point do the people around you have to hold it for your actions? Like, if nobody ever tells you anything about what you're doing, like, you're an accomplice. Like that makes you wrong. If I have a friend and my friend is doing wrong, my friend is doing something that
I can tell my friend that. I can say to my friend, hey, I don't really like the fact that you. Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would have a friend that was abusing. That I wouldn't be friends somebody or continue to be friends someone who's abusing.
Hey, no, I don't be up here beating up my dudes.
I don't know, but like I said, knowing, I don't know. They're not telling me. They're not coming forward. Okay, so when they come forward, I will definitely support. I'll support them in their accusations or their stance against you. I don't know what you've done. But anyway, look.
I might be handing out the skippy pass.
But the whole point is, I mean, what were they gonna do?
I mean,
if you getting your ass whooped and saying, what am I supposed to say?
It's a touchy situation. I think maybe because
domestic
violence to me means a little something different. I would have been like, maybe do you need help? Like, are you out? And I don't think I would have published it.
I'm gonna go to the police. Tell them that you're getting your ass whooped.
Not even that. I don't think I would have published it. Me writing an article about somebody. So let's just say.
But they wrote the article about him because the one I saw was very general.
They did a specific stuff about him before. Mm-hmm. And when it happened was it came out and the person came out and was like, I had reached out to these people. I told these people knew what was going on. And they basically ignored it and proceeded with their.
Is she still with him?
I don't think so. I think they broke up.
They're broken up and now she's saying that she doesn't want him to be featured as an artist.
No, I think what happened was something blew up and everything kind of came out into the public and now the public is having a bash to it. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how it came out. Hopefully somebody can tell me.
I'm just trying to understand.
Basically, timeline. Wow, in a relationship and giving her the skippity pats. They did an article. While they were doing an article or doing whatever, she was telling them like, "Hey, listen, this is going on. This is going on. This is going on." They ignored it. They still did the article.
Right.
It's been a substantial amount of. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a good little time since it came out to general public that this was going on. Right. And then now 88.9 is releasing a statement like, oh, whatever, like they didn't already know. Mm-hmm. So now the person is angered because she's like, I told y'all and y'all proceeded anyway. I think it's an image thing. Like, I don't think so.
I think all of us have something that's questionable. We've all done something questionable.
Something that's questionable is different than beating up on your partner.
Yes, but I'm also standing on the side of how long are we going? Like, when did this happen, and how long are we going to say, okay, you beat up your partner, we're no longer going to have you as a part of the musical.
Yeah, I can't tell you how long the timeline was. I can't tell you how long the timeline.
I mean, how long? I would be. The same issue came up with Chris Brown. How long was Chris Brown going to?
However, it's a difference between Chris Brown jumping on Rihanna to Rihanna doing the interview and saying, I was beating him up and he was defending himself. That's what she came out and said. Yeah. She said, I attacked him and then in return, his instance, he retaliated towards me. Yeah. That's different than I wasn't a victim. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a victim. I didn't do anything. It's the difference.
But how do we know? How do we know? Yeah, the football player. But how do we also know? And not to just say we don't know what's going on inside.
We don't know, but because we don't know, I would have preferred to not be for it or against it. You know what I'm saying? Stay neutral until you figure out what's going on. Yeah. I cannot, in good conscience,
they're not
somebody who I know.
They're not
now. Yeah. When they did the article, and she had reached out to them.
So they were together. She reached out and said, "He's whooping my ass."
Yes, he is whooping he's beating my ass. I don't know when they broke up after that. I don't know none of that. I just know from what came out, from what I've seen.
I mean, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. How am I supposed to take you seriously and you still with me?
Because the difference between that is it's hard for victims to leave situations where they're being,
here's the thing: how am I supposed to give him consequences for something?
Not giving him consequences. It's not allowing him to go without. You know what I'm saying? Like without that acknowledgement. Like maybe it's me. Me in good conscience, if I know for a fact that you are whooping your girlfriend's ass, I cannot have you on the dosage.
Don't get me wrong. I understand it now, and I have the same opinion. But here's the whole thing about this: is how is it that she's reaching out to 88.9 saying, "Listen, I want you all to hold him accountable for the things that he done to me, and I don't think he should be featured in your article." yet you're still with them.
Because, well, okay, for one, let's just say, now I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know her back. But let's just say, let's make up a scenario.
Okay.
This is make believe.
Okay.
Okay, you guys make believe. So let's just say I date you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any here. I move here to date you.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you have this life together. You are whooping my ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I gonna go? As a victim, like, and just dealing with people who have been in domestic violence situation, like that mental break comes first before the physical.
But here's my whole thing. In this, if you're recognizing that he's doing something wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and you know enough to give a call to somebody else and say, hey, I believe that he should have the consequences of not being featured.
What if she's scared? He gonna kill he threatened my family if I leave him.
If you can call me about an article, you can call the police.
What if she has? We don't know if she got a restraining order. We don't know if she had several
But
reports.
if she was still with them at the time, must not have been that.
That don't mean nothing. I know people with restraining orders who still sleeping with them. They be knocking at their door.
But I met them too. Done. That's why I say you can't call me first. You handle it first.
Don't call me first.
Don't call me first. You handle it first. Then
Call me second or third. Don't call me first.
Third. You upset about the fact that he's whooping your ass? Okay, cool. But you make sure that you've handled the situation, that you've left the situation, that you've done what you're supposed to.
But sometimes people need help. Sometimes people are reaching out because they don't know how to leave.
But the radio station, you call the radio station?
You right.
As you see, they did nothing for you. They didn't need that. They don't understand.
And you called the wrong radio station.
Yes.
If I'm gonna call anybody, I'm calling Reggie. Reggie the one who put this on folks.
Is this a rapper?
Reggie Smooth is Butter Brown.
No, I'm talking about
the rapper. Yeah, the rapper.
No.
He's a rapper.
The guy's a rapper.
Yeah.
And we know him.
I don't know.
What's the song?
His name is Webster X.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds real River West to me.
Mm-hmm.
No shade to River West. Sorry. For the people get up in arms, but yeah, River West. That's River West.
You coffee shop. Acoustic performance.
Let me quote Lilo. You know, she said that he's one of those River West rappers that wears the rethreaded outfits.
Well, now you never know what.
Real Anderson, no pack.
I put my hands on somebody before. I gotta be careful. I did it once.
So you was out here giving people the skippity pass? It's the. I might have.
It could have happened.
It could have happened.
Don't play with my phone.
You know what? I'm not even about to do this with you. We about to get on a lighter subject because Michael just came out the closet and said that he to put the skippity pass.
But it's about being totally transparent. Right? It is. We're being totally transparent. It was something that was not. I'm not proud of it, but it's happening.
Did you initiate it or did he initiate it?
Oh no, I initiated that.
Not only did you give the skippy pass, you told him you was gonna give him the skippy pass and then follow through.
Well, not necessarily. It didn't happen quite like that.
I'm listening.
It didn't. No, it was okay.
Okay.
So you know, you talking over the phone and somebody say some shit, you be like,
I'm gonna pull up on your
all right.
Yeah, because I hear people with the
No. All right. Cool. Oh, that's how you feel. Okay. All right.
Then when you saw,
ain't no when I saw.
I pulled up.
When I saw him, I pulled up.
Said, don't worry about it.
That's why I'll be like, what happened? What totally? Give me the full story.
And I've only fought one boyfriend of mine, and he had locked me in the house. So I was just trying to get free. I felt like a slave.
No, I just at the time my feelings was hurt. And I'm a Scorpio shit. But my
feelings emotional.
Then I gotta fight.
I gotta flip all this over.
Now I gotta shake the table.
No.
Every fucking thing over.
Yeah, you was shaking the tables. I was just trying to get free. Right. I felt like Harriet Tubman. I was fighting for my freedom.
Don't me. And don't. I'm one of those people. Like I'm definitely loyal. So I'm loyal to you. Like
to a fault.
When it's just us two, yeah. When it's just us two, or when we in front of people, I'm never different. I'm just the same person. So when people get different, I don't like that either.
So I'm gonna ask you a personal question. You got a boo in 2022?
No, I don't. I'm content. I don't want to be nobody else though. So I'm all right. I'm content right now.
You know my situation. I don't know what I got.
No.
I don't know what I got. So y'all listen, okay, let's talk about, since we talking about relationships and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I had told Curtis, Mr. Curtis over
Yeah.
here. I told Mr. Curtis
Yeah.
that I wanted to talk about the Tristan and the Chloe situation.
But I don't think there's anything to talk about.
I feel like it might be a little bit.
No.
So okay, it's just a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
So me as a woman, I feel like
you feel like
she, at this point, she might as well just stay with him.
What you mean?
She done stayed already. He cheats all the time. He done already did all this in public. Yeah. She really not going no place. No. She didn't even give a response to what's going on.
But why she gotta give a response?
I'm just saying, because it's the Kardashians.
She been on incubation this whole time. Every time you cheat, she loses a waistline. Every time we cheat, she do get smashed. She gets 2 more abs.
I need somebody to cheat on me.
Every time a nigga cheats, she gets 2 more abs.
At this point, I need to be cheated on.
Every time a nigga Rose cheats, she gets 2 more abs.
Because baby,
that's what she do, and that's really what it is. There's no need for him to apologize. And honestly, it's time for her to keep going because she's already accepted it a number of times. And as she can see, and this is what that's
what say she needs to stay.
But you have to train. You have to train somebody on how to treat you. And really, honestly, she's trained him on that and saying that if you cheat, I'm not going for it.
That's what I'm saying. She should stay.
That's what she does. No, but she should not. She really has to go. It's scorched earth. It really is. It's scorched earth. She gotta go. It's very much so done. Like she gotta go and do something different. She cannot continue to move forward in this relationship. I really would hope that she's found somebody else. I remember talking about her and Tristan cheating on her on Tea Party After Dark.
I'm gonna say many moons ago.
Yeah, she's been cheated on.
However, he cheated with her.
He did.
Yes, he cheated with her.
Well, that's what she gets.
With his first baby mama. Lamar left Taraji for her because he was cheating on Taraji.
So you
with
read
her.
It's out here. So you've been the other woman. You've been the woman that these men have been cheating with. Not that it's any of your concern because you're not in a relationship, but you really have to look at what you're bringing onto yourself. And people have to realize that they reap. You definitely, like, it's an old saying, and it's biblical, but it's a really old saying. But
you reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow.
So, okay. Do you believe in bro code? Even when they're not your bro, like just man code? Because I know women be like, you shouldn't cheat with somebody else's partner because you're a woman.
I don't know. I'm not really sure because some people are very promiscuous and some people have a lot of exes. Mm-hmm. And so that's really kind of.
I like to talk about exes. Let's just say you know somebody, but y'all not friends. Y'all don't hang out. You just know them, and they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who is trying to talk to you.
And what am I going to do?
Would you sneaky link that person or not? That's what I'm saying. If it was somebody that you was interested in, like, would you sneaky link with that person?
No.
Why?
Because if I'm interested in you, then there's a chance that this could go further than it should.
What I mean by interested is not necessarily like I like you as a person where I want to be with you, more like I want to see what it's hitting for.
It depends on their significant other is.
A person that you know but don't have no ties or acquaintance to.
Do I like them?
You barely know them. You're indifferent about them. So let me give you background. So women seem to have this thing of, yes, sis, we not cool. Yes, sis, we don't hang out. But you know, it was my man.
But did I know though?
But did I care though? It's not about did I know. It's about did I care. If we're not friends,
I mean, it depends on. It really depends on the interest. It's sometimes y'all. I'm gonna keep it real. Some of these things, I'd be surprised that they're in relationships. It's shocking to me.
Yeah.
Not even being funny. Like some people that are in relationships, it shocks the hell out. Like I'm like, you know what? They're like, yeah, I've been in a relationship, and then you be like, for how long? Like how long y'all? Because you been cheating. How long y'all? You been cheating, nigga. Y'all
you didn't know nothing. Next thing you know,
how long y'all been kicking it? Because
matching PJs on Christmas, so you was like, fam, huh? Or you at the baby shower pictures. That'd be the one for me. Everybody be single. I'm single, baby. I ain't got nobody I'm talking to. Then the next thing you know, y'all sitting there smiling.
Picture together, trying to get
and he rubbing her stomach.
Yeah, trying to somebody else the impression that y'all together when y'all know y'all was just fuck buddies to begin with. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of.
Or they was really together and he was telling the world that y'all wasn't.
This is rather bad. that y'all was just sex buddies. Y'all didn't tell us that. Y'all was just knocking boots and touching the
They
ring.
was knocking the boots.
It was touching on the inside.
They was touching on the inside. Yeah, that's the on the inside. Touch me on the inside.
And I'm sick of it. I no longer want to be a part of it. I'm sick of the escorts acting like they're not escorts. I'm tired of that.
Oh my.
Are there still escorts? Like I thought everybody was still doing $40 hollers.
No, there are real escorts out here in the world, but I want the escorts to acknowledge the escorts because y'all tricking these kids out here. And I'm sick of it. And I'm not saying that y'all gotta.
So what would you? So what would you like the escorts to say?
The truth.
The truth.
So what's the
Because
truth?
they got these chicks thinking out here they can do what they do.
It-
Little or nothing.
But you can't.
For
keep up.
$40.
You can't keep up with these things. Y'all going around. Y'all looking good. Y'all got your red bottoms on. People trying. I ain't saying go out here and tell your business. I love y'all. I'm gonna tell your business. Keep your business to yourself. But don't be having these kids looking at what y'all got going on and not telling them. And they really out there trying to live up to what y'all doing.
Now they
Y'all
out
know
here.
y'all out there making fast money. Tell them kids how y'all get that money. A little bit. Don't
And
give them the
listen,
whole picture. But
if
let
you
them
an
know.
escort, just slide into
No,
my
fast
inbox.
money. Just call it
I want
fast
to
money.
know.
Just let them know fast money ain't
Just
always
another
the best
entry
money.
level. You ain't got to give them material.
You ain't got to give them a whole detail. Just let them know.
So you know if
You remember drug dealers used to tell you, like, this ain't the life you really want to live.
Right.
Go to school.
Give them that Cardi B talk.
You
I
know,
was in the game, but nobody else in the game.
You know what I'm saying? Let them so you can have that conversation with them. I'm tired of telling. I feel like I'm telling business. I'll be like, look, hey, I know you like the way that person dressed, but look, they scared. Are you prepared to serve policy?
Okay. All right. Listen, and I'm not even gonna hold you. I am upset.
Why?
I feel like the Lord should have just gave me the scamming gene.
No, you don't need it because what you don't realize is that those people go to jail.
The risk they take.
All of them go to jail though.
No. What you don't know is that these people, they go to prison. You wanna know why you don't know they go to prison? Let me tell you how you know these people go to prison. Let me tell you when you know. They just disappear off. It disappear off places like Instagram, places they post all the time. They usually got red bottoms on, usually showing you their new outfit for the weekend, and then all of a sudden you never see them for at least like a year.
Well, Lord, because I one PPP application away from being on the list too. I was
stop these people going to jail.
It was a zoo on Burleigh, and I was about to have one on Center. I ain't gonna lie, we was about to be in competition.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see the list? The PPP list that the FBI released? Somebody said it was in Milwaukee. They had a zoo on Burleigh. The Burleigh Zoo. They had a zoo on Burleigh, and they had the PPP loan. They got plenty money for that. They said they had the zoo animals, giraffes, cows, horses.
Burleigh Zoo?
Burleigh. Yeah, we had a zoo, and it was like on Burleigh. I said,
how they get the money? Because you know they had to direct deposit the money in there.
Mm-hmm. People was getting them. I know plenty people who was getting people.
I used to go get a PPP.
And that's what I'm saying. I have legit businesses and was scared.
I was terrified.
Terrified to do PPP loans. I tell you right now, let little Omarion shut down the city.
You better not touch it. Like
let little Omarion shut down the city, and I swear that on both M&Ms.
Like when your door was just in good, when you forget it and you ain't got no more money left and all the money gone, that's when they're gonna come knock at your door. They're gonna say, "Hi, how you doing? We need that back."
They almost there now. Did you see the little thing talking about some by January on February 11th that they shut down that the food share benefit don't be cut, and they had a whole little list. I said, not the Quest. I need to buy some from the people. Don't cut that off.
If they cut it off, I gotta go.
They won't give me none. At least let me buy it from the people.
They're tired of it.
They're doing too much.
Now, here's what I'm gonna say. This is a time for everybody. A lot of people are going into business, working for themselves, and I'm excited that they're doing it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think that
everybody don't need.
I think it's a misconception. I think that everybody thinks that being an entrepreneur and being a business owner is the only way that you can go. I appreciate people who want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life.
It's cool with people that want to work a 9 to 5, but it don't work for everybody.
It don't work for everybody, but somebody got to work for you.
Yeah, somebody got to work for you, but at the same time, you also have to be that's worth working for. Now, prime example.
They said the PPP is a loan.
Say it again, bro.
You got to pay it back.
It's forgivable. Working for. See, because when you look at like prime example, the 16-year-old was killed inside the Burger King on 51st and Capitol. Mm-hmm. How much money do you think those people that work inside the Burger King are really paid?
However, she was 16. What else did she do? She was. So this is my thing. People don't understand. I don't think
16 years old working at a Burger King, and so you now have a person who's driving a the drive-through into the what is that? The window. First of all, she was there at what time of night?
It was like 11 o'clock.
It was like 11 o'clock. What was she doing there at 11 o'clock?
At 16, you could work full time.
What was she doing there at 11 o'clock?
Working. At
Is that a
16, you could
weekday or
work.
weekend?
No. This is coming from a person who's been a shift supervisor at that specific Burger King. What was she doing there at 11 o'clock?
I don't know, but legally, at 16, you no longer need a work permit and you can work a regular shift. Like, you can
That
work.
is shocking to me. I can't
Yeah.
understand what she was doing there that late because let me be very honest.
15, you still need a work permit.
There
and
was a
you
certain
still-
age
At 9, you have to
that you was
be
not standing.
9 a week and 11 on the weekends.
Them
And that's for 15 and under.
Yep.
But at 16, you have
They
classified
must have
into
just changed
that.
that. And
They would have the
this
COVID.
is particularly why that we're interested in understanding why she's working that late. And I am specifically. It's because of things like this.
Mhm.
Because now she's at risk at a time where
But I'm saying,
She
even
was-
if it was
she
an
didn't do
adult
there.
in that situation itself was just a bad situation.
it was
to
a
be in.
very bad situation, but a 16-year-old could have not been
A 16-year-old could have definitely been there.
there. You know,
But she was.
and people are
However,
concerned.
as a 16-year-old, let's just say at 16 you are emancipated. You know what I'm saying? At 16,
Well, that's a
you
different
are-
discussion,
Yeah.
right? That's a different discussion. But we're talking about a 16-year-old who I'm hearing from what I was told, she was on the clock when she was shot. So I'm trying to. They said she was there with her best friend. So was she working or was she not working?
Because if she wasn't working, then why would she have been behind the drive-through window? That don't make sense.
Well, you know, some people, depending on the manager, probably could let her stay. Some people do. Now, when you wasn't on my clock and you weren't working,
If you ain't on my clock, you need to give
You
it
have to
behind
give it behind my
yeah,
counter.
behind my
But
counter.
however, some people are different. Some people run their restaurants different. Some people run their Burger King stores different. I did it differently. I was 18, being a shift supervisor. I worked the one on 51st and Capitol. I worked the one on 124th and Capitol. Excuse me. But I'm just she opened the restaurant back up. I'm wondering, did you have counseling for those who were there? Did you have a conversation?
No, they didn't do none of that.
Did you have a conversation?
And I get
with
that.
the
And I get that
employees?
whole, as an employee, you are replaceable. You are not valued, all of these things. And I get that logic. I
And I
understand why
believe
you want your
Ernest
own
used to
business.
be. What's his name? Ernest. I think his name was Ernest. Used to be the general manager. I don't know who the general manager is now.
However, on the flip side, you have a lot of people who are starting these businesses who have absolutely no people skills. You know what I'm saying? Your customer service is horrible. Your attitude is horrible. Your work ethic is horrible.
Let's not
Your
get off
product-
Valerie Daniels Carter just that fast. Let's go back. Valerie Daniels Carter. Let's go back. We just really want to understand what you're doing, Valerie Daniels Carter. We want to understand what you're doing for your staff at the 51st.
I didn't know she
Capitol.
owned that one.
Oh yeah, she owns that one.
Mm.
I want to understand what you're for your staff at the 51st and Capitol restaurant.
That's
there.
Bucks Money, right?
The
That's the
store,
one.
Burger
That's
King.
the.
Yeah, she's
she's
part
the
owner.
part owner. I know, but I'm just saying. You give me some of that Bucks Money. What you doing? What you doing
Well,
for
she
your staff?
don't need no Bucks money. She got good money. She got good money. She got restaurants here. She got restaurants on the East Coast. She got restaurants in Detroit. She got good. So let's be clear. Let's have a conversation. Let's ask a couple of questions. This is Valerie Daniels Carter. We got a question, Evangelist.
Whoa! Let me sit.
It's the whole me.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we got questions. Like, what are you doing
I wish
for
I could
those
zoom
people?
in.
How are you giving that type of support to your staff there at that store? I'm interested in knowing. Because it's the same Valerie Daniels Carter that's on the front of Black Enterprise magazine. It's the same Valerie Daniels Carter that's a part owner of making sure that she's a part of that.
And I've
The
same, her
same-
face on
yeah,
Facebook
uh-huh.
all the time.
Same Valerie Daniels Carter that owns Burger Kings, that owns Pizza Huts, that owns NTN, that owns a number of other things. So she has the money. So it's the question of what are you doing to support that staff that now has had a person who used to work there has been killed in the store, and she opened right back up the next day.
Yeah,
Was the
literally a
bullet-
few hours.
Was the bullet hole even
No.
fixed?
No,
Yeah.
you couldn't have fixed nothing. You couldn't have fixed nothing.
It's a concern. Let's see.
Yeah, and for you guys who are watching, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, tag her. I mean, what's she gonna do to me? I'm business owner. What's she gonna do to me? Tag her. What's she gonna do to you? Because you're Michael J. Curtis. What's she gonna do?
I don't make my money in the church.
Tag her. Ask her. Make it a public service announcement. Figure out what's going on because that is a traumatic situation.
It's a very dramatic situation, and so for those that staff to go through that
and you owe the community that is speaking so highly of you at this present time. Like, people are sharing things about you. People are celebrating you for being the sole minority. You know, so you are the only Black woman that has any ownership claim to the Bucks. People are celebrating you and doing things like that. And right now, you have not answered the questions of the community.
Well, I mean, and there are some, and I believe some activists, I think Vaughn and a number of others have pointed it out that she's open right back up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a person that we have to say, what have you? Don't just look at what's going on in this particular situation or the fact that she opened up this store. Look at how the people that are in her crew, her managers, what type of money are they making?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the crew. What type of life or quality of life do they have working at Burger King? Because we can no longer say that these are high school jobs. These are not. These are people that have worked at her Burger Kings for 15 years, 14 years, 13 years, 12 years, 13 years, 20 years. There was people that worked there. There was a lady that worked there for 9 years when I worked there, and I think she's still there. So we not say anymore, and can't say you ain't getting the money because just the same type of company as you, just because you're a Francis Heartland who owns Burger King as well, they did their cashier as well. They did that before minimum wage was raised.
Mm-hmm.
So
whenever you go out further and you're outside, and that's crazy to me, and that's not just fast food restaurant, that's any business. For out, you know, we have group homes. For people who go out further, they pay you more, and I understand it might be the travel, it might be whatever, but why do we not value our inner city workers as much as we value those who are out in the suburbs?
A lot of people were saying that. A lot of people go, well, our fries, y'all can't even order right. Well, the people that could get your order right are at better paying jobs. That's where they are. They're at jobs that pay them well.
And let's be honest. I went to Burger King because I like breakfast sandwiches, y'all. I'm fat. I'm a fluffy girl, okay?
Yeah.
So I like the little croissant sandwiches. Yeah. When I go to Burger King on MLK, and I'm using MLK because that's close to my mom's house. But when I go there, it is literally 2 people there in the morning. Mm-hmm. You have a rush of 30 cars. You know what I'm saying? You have a long line. Your Armada Drive is 8, 9 in the morning. People are trying to get coffee. They're trying to do this, and you have 2 workers.
Yeah.
I have a whole new compassion for people who work in things because I literally sat there. One day it was one person. I watched this lady take the order, make the food, bag the food, and bring it back to your car just to do it again. So she taking the order for the person behind you, collecting your money, putting it in the register, making sure it's right, stopping that, going to get your food, prep it, make it, bag it, wrap it, and bring it to you.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why you're there for 15 minutes or something is wrong. No, we need to do better by us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to do better by us.
But see, that's the thing, and that person is getting paid probably very close to minimum wage.
Very close.
And working extremely hard.
But on the flip side, as a person who has staff, y'all got to do better too. I'm not going to hold you.
When you pay people well, they work well.
Not true. Sometimes I have seen it where people get paid a decent amount, but because, for example, me and my mom have this saying all the time, like, we pay good for the responsibility that we give you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are low medical, low behavior. If you're not getting beat up, you're not doing nothing. It's a very easy job to work.
Yeah.
People will be the quickest if they don't like something. They're like, we call the state. And I tell people all the time, I had one girl threaten to call the state. I said, call them. I said, maybe they here 3 times a year. Wrong. And Black people have that. We are so quick to do that to other Black people.
Yeah.
We are quick to do things to Black people that we would never do to white people. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's no shade. That's no racist, no nothing. Somebody said the temps at her job gets paid way more than her, but they are so lazy because they got the high pay rate. They feel like they ain't got to work for it. They feel like they're temps. It's just like,
but it's that's crazy. The thing. That's about the respect. I look at that. Temps are walking in the door making more than what the person who actually works for the company makes. That's not okay.
It's not okay, but it also depends. It also depends on the situation. So, for example, in healthcare, when you have a pool person, a person who is coming on as pool, who is coming in from an outsource, they have a fee that they have to pay that gets taken out of their check for the company, the agency that's bringing them to you. They also have a different fee, and because they're on call, their last minute, they get a little higher. It's like the hazard pay almost. So with temps, because it's a temporary job and they're not long term, they're not staffed through there. They have to go do different things, and they have all these different things that come out. So they get paid more, which sucks because I feel as though if you more originally, you won't need the temps. It's kind of a give and take, but people are a little weird when it comes to stuff like that. But so Miss Daniels Carter, you heard the call. You've been called out. I hope you see this. I hope somebody shares this to her. You never know.
We shall see.
Somebody gonna tag her in the comment. I'm gonna speak it. Somebody gonna tag her in the comment.
No, Lena's running for mayor now. That's interesting.
What? Nothing. I said nothing.
She's running for mayor. Lena Taylor is running for mayor. I think that is an amazing thing. I think she has a challenge. I think when.
So are you voting for?
I don't live in the city of Milwaukee. You fancy.
So if you were living in the city of Milwaukee, would you vote for her?
I at one time asked Lena Taylor
On the night.
It's been doing that lately.
Darling, for the last 3-4 days, Spectrum has
but
been.
But has to do is she really has to go on a PR campaign. She just really honestly a bulk of what she does. She doesn't even need to do the campaigning that other candidates are doing.
No, she needs to go.
Her thing needs to be, and it's not even the door-to-door thing. Her thing needs to be, she needs to make sure that people are understanding the type of person that she is, who she is, what her image is. And so a lot of her things needs to be PR and her public image right now. Because it's where you can either have name recognition and it can work for you, like being a cop.
Yeah.
Or you can have name recognition and it could bring a kind of like.
But even that's iffy because that depends on who you ask for. I know people who live in that district who don't like her cause.
Yeah, well, see,
you know what I'm saying? Like I know, and that's because I lived over there. That's where I grew up at. I grew up on 4th and Garfield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's just a question.
It's a question of who you ask and how you know them.
Yeah.
If you're living there and you feel as though that her as an alderman is only doing things for specific people and she's not listening to the cries of the neighborhood, like they're not going to vote for her, and that's who matters. You know what I'm saying? Like your district is who matters.
It very much so matters. And then so Lena Taylor, her district, Senator Lena Taylor, her state Senate district really covers the bulk of Milwaukee County, and so for her, it's not that you haven't had this area before, and her having trouble with this area is also a tell sign. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the thing that did it for a few people I know I've heard a few people talk about was the bank situation.
You know what? I'm going to keep it real with you. I think people who like Lena, that didn't
people who don't know her. Okay, so this is my thing. People who like you are willing to accept more from you than people who don't know you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And I think
because they know you.
Yeah.
So people who don't know me, if they see me act a fool one week and then you hear me running for mayor the next, like they're not going to support that because their first impression of me was hearing me at the bank cussing somebody out.
Cussing someone out.
You know what I'm saying? A teller doing all of this.
Vanilla Barnes came out and said what he said about her smoking weed. Then you got
not that I disagree with her smoking weed.
Yeah, I got to do with that.
I don't have anything to do with that.
There was
That's
also
not
not
my
only
fight.
that. Then you have Senator Johnson. It's not Lakia Johnson, is it? It's Senator Johnson.
Okay, Johnson,
she had that thing. She had that thing with Senator Johnson before, where you are two senators, Democratic, black women. It ain't that many of y'all. Mm-hmm. You're both a part of this, and I don't know if she's a senator or she's a state rep, one of them. But she had an issue with her because Michelle Bryant was running against her, and it was supposed to be this thing, and it turned into this big thing. And so now you have these two that have these things going on. So Senator Taylor has a few things to clear up, and unless she works to make sure that she's repairing those things, the bank, Senator Mandela Barnes, and what came out in the articles before, and those, and just a number of other things. She just got a lot. She got a lot of baggage, and unless she cleans up the baggage, then I think it'll be a harm to her rather than good.
I feel as though
I ain't voting for Cavalier Johnson. I'll tell you that.
I second that motion.
Hello.
Yes, and the church say Amen. Okay.
So
my thing is, it is extremely difficult for people to take women serious. African American, white, whatever. Women in general.
Yeah.
So when you combine being a woman, being an African American woman, being a true African American woman, like you're not I'm
offered my help. I've offered her my help for those before you asked me. I have offered her my help. I reached out and said, "Do you want to have coffee?"
And no shade to Vice President Harris, but it's a difference between a person who is from the neighborhood, who resides in the neighborhood, who still wants to be a part, who still represents the neighborhood. Yeah. Like everybody was saying, VP, she ran a good race. She targeted and she marketed to all the right things, and then you heard nothing else from her. As far as the African American community, you heard nothing.
Well, you're not supposed to. They have an office of African American engagement, and
it's not about that. It's her as a person. Like, for example, with Michelle Obama being the first lady, she had her own campaign, and it was never geared towards African American people. Mm-hmm. However, you still knew that Michelle was from Chicago.
Let me help. One office is totally different than the other. The vice president versus the first lady. The first lady's initiative was just that. It was an initiative. And so her being out in front in the public and doing all of that, that was a part of the job. That was a part of the initiative. What Vice President Harris does is not out in front. It's real work.
No, I'm not saying as far as being something. I'm talking about as in who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say I am a sister girl and I'm an AKA and I am for us, by us, or whatever, but then I no longer represent that in myself. I'm not saying as my job. I'm saying like when I was at Cardinal Stretch, I went to Cardinal Stretch, I cannot be like, this is me, and then go to Cardinal Stretch. It's a difference between being professional and then turning it off.
Yeah.
I feel as though personally that she kind of turned it off after she got her votes. For your own words.
It's one thing to be a person that's campaigning for president, campaigning for vice president. It's another thing to actually be in the job. And so I don't expect her. It's the same as I don't expect.
Jackson said, "Come on with the crown."
Yeah. I don't expect to see her that much. I want you to do your job. And that's the same thing when people saying, "Well, we don't see President Biden that much." It's like you're not supposed to see the president.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not supposed to. And I think people, because of Donald Trump, right, got so used to seeing the president very often, and they forgot that in previous years we did not see the president that much. When we saw President Obama, he was like on a late night show. He was on a daytime show.
But what I'm saying is,
every now and again, and that wasn't even all the time.
Not even on that capacity. I'm saying as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is that our record time? He over here signaling. I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was. But I'm saying as a person. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't expect to see her out. I don't expect to see her doing shows. I don't expect anybody to be doing anything too much because of COVID.
Yeah.
But I do expect for if you have marketed yourself as an AKA, the little things that you do represent who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sell me this person and then not give me that person.
But see, what you got to understand is that she's the vice president of the United States of America,
and as a record-breaking first. You know what I'm saying? First Black vice president who has joined this, historic. Maybe it's because I'm a Greek at heart, y'all. I ain't in real life, but as a person who.
But you gotta. But also, this is not the same. It's not the same as a vice president. She is second fiddle. That means she don't run the show. She's just a part.
I don't need her to run anything. I need her to be her.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are times where we go to work and turn it off.
As much, no, I might change my voice. It's a difference between, like I said, between turning it off and being palatable. You're palatable, okay? As a person, you have proper etiquette in any environment. When you go to church, you don't act like you're in the club. When you go to club, you don't act like you at the church.
People do.
When you go, these are bad to them.
Yeah, these are just don't get.
Nah, he don't care.
He
don't care.
He don't give a damn.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, even at work, like, I'm not saying that you got to be hood, but you ain't got to be.
I think people want this standout nature from her that is not appropriate for her to have as a vice president.
What do you consider a standout nature, though?
I think they want her to be the.
I feel like everything.
I think they want her to be the second coming of the Obamas. And she cannot be that as a vice president.
She can never be. She cannot be that as a person because she doesn't have that dynamic about her. But I do want you to be the person that you campaign to be.
Yeah, but I think there's only going to be so much personality that she's going to be able to have shine through. We saw personality from Joe Biden, but we didn't see this much personality from Joe Biden as vice president. He didn't do this.
I see, and I don't know because.
Don't get me wrong.
I feel pretty equal out. Yeah.
When it was their time to campaign, when it was their time to be in front of the camera, that's what happened. But other than that, you saw President Obama.
Yeah.
It really was. It was about President Obama.
It was about President Obama.
And that was his job. His job was to be there to back up President Obama.
But when you did see Biden, you knew Biden. You could almost. When Biden was running for president, everybody already knew enough about him and his personality and how he was and his
that's Hollywood. That's what she want to do. Y'all got it. She's second fiddle.
No, I don't.
That's not what she's supposed to do.
I don't want her.
To be there. Listen, there is an office of African American engagement. The congressman from Louisiana, he runs that office now. He was on the show with Charlamagne. What's Charlamagne's show called?
The Breakfast Club?
No, he was on the Breakfast Club. It's the talk show.
I don't know.
His job, the Office of Public Engagement. His job is to get in for Jen Psaki, the press secretary. Who was her spokesperson? She actually was making something. She kind of reminded me of you a little bit. Simone Biles. Simone Biles.
You sound like my pastor. I know you talking about with the short hair.
Yeah, Simone.
Yeah.
She actually. Simone, not Biles.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
that's her name.
You cannot get votes by campaigning like, oh, I'm this person. We doing pearls and Converses and doing all this stuff, and then
she still wear Converse. She still wear pearls.
Where? When you say
I don't care what you ain't even got to eat fried chicken for me. You ain't got to do none of that. You ain't got to. You ain't got to be none of that for me. You ain't got to eat watermelon. You ain't got to eat cornbread.
And it is me.
You ain't got to say the word y'all for me. You know what you got to do? I want the policies that you enact to be the black. I want that to be the black part.
See,
I want you to be black when you write your policies on paper.
I want that
black on paper.
But I also don't want to be sold something that I'm not getting. If you sell me this is what I hate. It's just like fast food. I want what's on the picture.
But as far as policy, hold on. As far as policy, not what she wears, not what she says. Not how she shows up. Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. So
if you want to check, you might have to call Trump back.
But this is the whole thing. Everybody understands the game of politics is chess, except I think black people. I think we're just starting to really understand again. Not just starting to understand, just starting to understand again because people fought for this because they understood what it was. Mm-hmm. Dr. Martin Luther King fought for voting, and that was just one part of what else. He was coming for other things. It's just he got killed, so then the rest of the campaign couldn't be finished.
I think for me, it's more of a you gave us a visual of a representation of this person who was for us, who was by this. And I get the policies are totally different half of it, but it's two parts. I feel like representation matters. You know what I'm saying? Like what people see when they see you matters. When little girls look at you.
Her just being in the room. When you're in a position like that, her just being in the room is
that's not true, because sometimes the people in the room are the ones who are actually not for you.
And
we have a lot of Black people who were in Congress who were not on our side.
You got that right.
And you know what I'm saying? They were visually there, and then when you see them,
the congressman from Chicago.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who were Black who you see, they was like, ooh, it's a Black man or woman running for office. And then when they get there, they're not for it.
David Clark. That's the
they're not for it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. We find here. Stop it, Jazz. No, you're not.
For those of you who are on Facebook who can't see her, she said we're gonna see her in a minute because
we needed
Joe
Biden. Because I'm gonna be honest with you,
she would have never made it without him.
I'm not gonna say she would never, because she would have. I'm not gonna say she would have never made it.
She would have been in the. I don't think she would have been in the president's office without her. I don't think that the United States, after all that racial conflict, would have allowed for her. She would not have been able to run as president. You know what I'm saying? Never. Not right now. Because they racially, the turmoil that we had, they wouldn't have voted for it. Mm-hmm. Even if we had another person who was as dignified, as charismatic as everything as Obama, I don't think that they would have voted him in.
People will vote for the idea of President Obama was a great idea. You have to understand when it comes to that's messed up. He was a great idea at the time.
He was.
Because honestly, I told my family, really honestly, y'all know it. If we would have had Hillary, I think we would have been a lot further. Because I think
I don't think so.
I think a lot of the resistance that was to Barack Obama was because he was Black.
I do. But I feel as though, me being a woman, I feel as though Hillary would have had that same resistance as a woman.
These are people, well, could be.
Because people automatically look at women and they think that we react and we run things off of emotion. Mm-hmm. But we gotta wrap this up. So we're gonna have a part 2. We're gonna bring Michael.
We have a long conversation. Yeah. Thank y'all for having me. This is brilliant.
No problem.
Make sure you're tuning in to Front Row with Michael J. Curtis. I have my co-hosts. They're not here with me today. We have Robin Young. We also have Scales, Harvey Scales Jr. Are my co-hosts. I am your host, Michael J. Curtis. You can listen to us Saturday mornings. It's going to be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll be able to be found on hittinghardradio.com. Listen, we are coming to take over your radio airwaves. You have never heard a morning show like this, ever.
And that's period.
I'm here to tell you. All right, we're going to have a little fun. I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight with myself and with Shay, my girl's Daily Dosage.
Y'all, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my Instagram. They logged me out. But thank you for tuning in. This is our first show. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We know we got a little deep and heavy on you guys today, but it's okay. Y'all needed it because y'all been gallivanting around here, stressed out due to COVID, but it's okay.
We're back.
We love y'all. Thank you for rocking. This is The Dosage, giving you your daily dose. Follow us, tag us, share us, and tune in on probably around Wednesday and Thursday if you want to re-listen on Pandora or any other streaming sites where you can get your podcasts from. We love you. Peace out. Peace, love, and hair grease.